Hello everyone, it is Saltchrome here. So today I want to share my personal wish list for Destiny 2 with you guys. Firstly, I will start with my PvE wish list, which include raid, strikes, missions, etc, etc. And after that I will tell you guys what I personally want to see improved PvP wise in Destiny 2. So let's start, shall we? So one of the most important things I want to see in Destiny 2 is enough content to play until the next DLC or expansion. This is one of the many things that the current Destiny lacks. The last expansion in Destiny was released in September, called The Taken King. I will admit that it was a huge expansion, but still, that was roughly 6 months ago and we have still no new content. So make the gap between DLCs smaller to prevent losing players. Another thing I want to see improved in Destiny 2 is a better RNG system. Reward players that put more effort and time into activities. Players that just come online and play the game for 1 hour should not get better loot than players that play the game 5 or 6 hours a day. Also, make the loot more rewarding. Make them like the Vault of Glass days. I mean, every weapon from the Vault of Glass raid felt powerful. It has gone downhill since. Right now the end game gear is so weak that you are better off with buying weapons in the tower from the vendors. The only things that makes the raid and the lighthouse relevant right now is that it gives you high light level gear, so you can infuse that gear into other weapons. But the guns itself really suck. So I want to see that improved in Destiny 2. I want to see more variety in content, meaning less recycled locations, and especially when we pay for it. A good example is the Omnigul strike on Earth. That strike contains like 80% recycled content. They just use the patrol area and just put some enemies there. I mean, if it is free content, then I can understand that it is recycled. But when we pay $20 for an expansion, then we expect to see new locations. Next is better character customizations. I feel like in Destiny, in the beginning of the game, when you make your own character, the options were very limited. They should expand upon that and they should put more options there. Not only that, but I want to see more armor customizations. Right now you have 3 classes in Destiny, the Titan, the Hunter and the Warlock. And within every class, for example the Titan class, they look very similar with each other. So make more endgame armor sets. The King's Fall raid right now has 1 armor set. Just make it 2 or 3 armor sets so we can see more variety and more customizations. So moving on, I want to see bigger patrol areas. Right now in Destiny the patrol areas are very small and very linear. They are supposed to be these huge areas where you can explore Venus, Mars, Earth, Moon. But sadly the locations and the activities are very limited and you have very little freedom. So Bungie, make the patrol bigger. Allow us to bring more friends to the patrol areas instead of limiting us with maximum 3 players in a fire team. Put more activities, put more vehicles in there. I mean, hell, give us the freedom to fly with our ship in the wild. Moving on to my next point. More perks in our subclass tree. Right now in Destiny the perks on the subclasses are very limited and unbalanced. Give us more perks to use and balance them better. A good example is the Flame Shield on the Sunsinger's melee, which by the way gives you an overshield when you hit your enemy with your melee. I mean, that perk is so good that the other perks in the same skill tree aren't used that often. Same with Fireborn, which allows you to resurrect yourself. That perk is so good that people won't use any other perk on the same skill tree. So yeah, I want to see that improved. So yeah, moving on. I want to see LFG in game. LFG is a place where you can find other players to play nightfalls, raids, strikes, you call it. Right now it is not in-game and you need to do it external, meaning that you need to do it with your laptop, your desktop or your phone, but it would be much better for players to be able to do that in-game. Moving on. I want Destiny 2 to have a better story mode, and I want to read the Grimoire cards in-game. Right now, to read the extra lore on Destiny, you need to check the Grimoire cards, which you can find on Bungie.net. These cards should be in-game. You should not go to a site to read the lore for a game you just bought. So yeah, make that happen, Bungie, because that's not a hard thing to do. I also would like to see more character interactions in Destiny 2, like you guys did with Jade 6 in the Taken King. But in Destiny 2 I want to see that for all the vendors, if not most of the vendors. I also want to see better mission and strike designs. The Taken King expansion improved this a lot, and I want you guys to keep this up, because the mission and strike designs in the vanilla game were awful. Moving on to my next point, don't make raids like the Crota's End raid. Every Destiny player that played the Crota's End raid knows what I'm talking about. That raid was too short and it was as easy as a strike. Not to mention that it was full of exploits and glitches, and it took Bungie too long to fix those glitches. By the time Bungie finally fixed those glitches, people had gotten their undeserved loot, which was not fair for the people that did the raid legit. So yeah, my point is, don't use the Crota's End raid as an example. The Vault of Glass and the King's Fall raid are both very good in my opinion. The only bad thing about the King's Fall raid in my opinion is the bad loot. The guns and the armor that the King's Fall raid gives are very weak. So weak that you are better off buying vendor weapons. In Destiny 2, I also want to see more things to do for the hardcore Destiny players. I consider myself a hardcore Destiny player, because I have put thousands of hours in this game. I have done every activity on every difficult. I have almost all the exotics in the game. I have played and fully unlocked all of the 9 subclasses. In short, I have done everything that you can do in Destiny. And for the players like me, for the hardcore players, we want something more. Give us harder challenges that even the hardcore players struggle to do. The challenges right now in the King's Fall raid are a joke. Those challenges don't even feel like a challenge. And when we complete that very hard challenge, give us something cosmetic, a shader, an emblem, to show people that we did the hardest thing in the game to do. And the last thing on my personal list for now is, Bungie, do not nerf PvE stuff because they were a little bit strong in PvP. This is one thing that I don't understand. If something is too strong in PvP and it performs a bit too well in PvP, to the point that it is broken and it is unbalanced and not fair at all, I get it, you know, that thing needs a nerf. But why the hell would you nerf that thing in PvE? I mean, it's not like that the Cabal and the Vex complain to Bungie that something is OP. A perfect example is the Vex Mythoclast. It's an exotic fusion rifle that you can use in your primary slot, but it fires like an auto rifle. And you can obtain it by killing Atheon on hard in the Vault of Glass raid. Now this gun in its original form was a powerhouse in the Crucible. I mean, it was so powerful and broken that not even people with heavy machine guns could kill you. I mean, it was a insta-melt gun. As soon as you saw someone, they were dead within a second. And it had a magazine of 56 bullets. So you could kill the whole enemy fire team without reloading. Yeah, my point is, it was very strong in PvP. But the things I just listed, those were only in PvP. I mean, it was a good weapon in PvE to use, but it was not too strong in PvE. not by a long shot. It was a good weapon to use to kill low and mid-tier enemies, and the weapon was fun to use. The number of times that this gun was nerfed by Bungie is so high that I lost count. And these nerfs are because Bungie wants to balance PvP. So while Bungie is trying to balance PvP, they are destroying fun PvE weapons to use, like Evex. Same story with the Sunbreaker Titan nerf. It was a bit strong in PvP and it got nerfed into the ground. And now it is useless in PvP and PvE. Come on Bungie, you can do better than this. Crucible should not affect our PvE experience. So what I want to see in Destiny 2 is to separate PvE and PvP. Or make it so that the nerfs in PvP stay in PvP. Anyways guys, this video is now longer than I had foreseen. Normally in this video I also wanted to talk about the PvP side of the game, but because this video is now longer than I had foreseen, I will make a part 2 of this video discussing the PvP side. So subscribe to my channel to not miss the part 2 of this video. Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, and I'll see you guys on my next video.